Henry and I were fortunate and blessed to have worked with an amazing stationery designer, Rina from Mpenzi Stationery. Rina was a breath of fresh air to work with. I mean, where she met any challenges, she let us know in ample time. She executed on our vision. We worked with her right from the traditional, with save the dates, with the invitation cards, all the way up until the formal wedding. She brought the vision to life, guys.
Rolling sound.
Hi, my name is Rina Waligo and I am a visual designer, wedding stationery designer. My brand is called Mpenzi Paper Studio. So Mpenzi is a Swahili word that means love. So we named it Mpenzi Paper Studio because it's kind of like love on paper, so Love Paper Studio. It is a full-service creative studio that handles everything to do with your wedding stationery, from save the dates all the way to your thank you cards and everything in between. So I started designing wedding stationery in 2019. I was already working as a graphic designer at the time, and that year I had about 5 close friends or family getting married, and they asked me to be their wedding stationery designer. And that's kind of what opened up my eyes into the world of wedding stationery. Of course, I had seen it here and there, but I didn't know what to expect. I didn't know how beautiful it was. And so that experience got me into the industry, and I've never looked back after that. So I would probably say that the 3 crucial steps to creating the perfect wedding stationery is, number 1, figure out what you would want in terms of your theme, your style, your budget as well, because that informs, what you would do after that creatively. The second thing that I would probably say is to manage your circle of helpers. I say this because sometimes there are couples who have a vision, or they know exactly what they want, but a lot of people are involved in the process. And if our channel of communication is not clear as we are working together on your stationery, it can kind of get, a bit iffy. So I'll just say manage the people that are helping you so that your relationship with your stationer is not, seriously affected. So my creative process usually starts from inspiration. So at this point, probably the couple has contacted me and they have some ideas, maybe they have a mood board, or they know a bit about what they like. So we usually start with inspiration, and then I can find it anywhere, whether it's looking online, going out in nature, whatever the case is, just look for inspiration. And then usually I start to sketch some initial concepts based on the theme or the style that the couple has selected, and then I go back to them and we start to refine those ideas so that we choose a clear direction and, with the designs we want to continue. And then the next thing we would do is maybe prototype, maybe make some samples, just test it out, pick out materials, and when everything is laid out and agreed, we go to production and assembly. So when Lucy reached out, I first was like, oh my gosh, because I would have loved to work with her. And I didn't expect that, she would use someone local. I just didn't know what was gonna go on. But when she reached out, she was so amazing. We met, she had ideas that kind of pushed me creatively. Like I'd always wanted to work with someone like that, but she was like, we're doing the most. And I was so here for it. So it was so amazing to work with them. Just the ideas, just the creativity, the grace, and everything. It really, really pushed me creatively with what we did. And I'm so, so, so glad that we worked together and that I had the opportunity to be a part of their love story in a small way. There were challenges that I faced with working with other service providers or other vendors, because I have a bit of my process is outsourced. Since I'm just kind of new into the wedding industry, there are things that we do in-house and some of the things that we outsource. And so there's a certain quality of work that I'm very, very used to and what I'm aiming for. And I've always wanted to work with people who are local and like, you know, build my country as well. But then obviously we had different maybe standards of quality and things like that. There were some challenges with time because like I like to keep time and keep a schedule, and some things are kind of like, madam, you know? So it was kind of, even people that I had worked with and tested the sample and everything was great. And then it, you know, after that it's kind of like maybe that's not consistent. So I did face a few of those challenges, but thankfully just having my people ready to help, those who understood the vision and what we're trying to do, kind of came through and were able to finish it off beautifully.
So I'm waiting for her right now because one of the things I requested for was for a frame of our wedding invitations, both for the traditional and the white. And I'm really looking forward to that because I know the perfect place in my house where I'm gonna hang it up just for the memories. And yeah, that probably does show you just how much I loved our wedding stationery. I love the wooden frame. This is perfect. Wow, this is perfect.
Yeah.
This is exactly.
Okay, so let's start off with the traditional. I think we started off with the save the date. I really love the card that we used. We used a firm card, which is what I really wanted, and then it had that nice finishing as well.
Yes.
Love that it came out, and this I remember it was the card the save the date my mom sent out to her friends, and then we just did like digital save the dates for our friends as well. Oh yeah, we did go back and forth a lot on the font style.
Yes. Yes, we had some different font styles to consider because you felt like your first name was a bit short, and so we just had to pick one that made it look a bit like luxury and full and give it a nice feel. So that's the font that we went with, font number 1, and the Imigongo pattern, which you wanted to incorporate. Show off your culture.
I loved the Imigongo, and I think it worked so beautifully with the green. It stood out.
Yes, it really did. And I remember that for the front of the envelope, you sent us these pots that you really wanted to use, and so we had them illustrated based off the picture that you sent to us. And then also for foil on the envelope as well, and the same pattern at the front was continued through the inside of the card,
and then on the actual card. And I remember this was quite a challenging material to work with for the calligrapher.
Yes,
but she did a good job. She played around with a few gold pens, and it just worked out so perfectly. So I love this card. I really did.
It was really beautiful.
My whole family loved the card. Like, this is so stunning. And then we kept the firm card as well for this.
And I think you had a really nice idea to do the tassel because we're kind of, you really wanted gold, and then we tried a few samples out, and I think your sister was like, oh, what if we try green? But it actually really came out so beautiful.
It did. I thought it would just be so like too close, but it really came out like a darker shade. And
you can actually use different shades of the same color to still bring out, you know, some more details. So that was really, really cool.
Loved it. Love this card. And then the formal. So for the formal, we had so many ideas. I think I always stuck with wanting velvet.
Yes, and you wanted black and gold. You wanted black and gold, and I think you really wanted a monogram that stood out because I think in the beginning we had some different types of monograms, but you liked this one that was really, really full. And so we had the HL and had the wedding.
Yeah.
And so we just used that throughout. I think it was your custom monogram that you used as well, even on your day in some of the decor pieces.
Throughout the wedding, we had that everywhere, actually.
Yeah.
But yeah, I love that. And then I remember showing this to my in-laws. They fell in love with it. My family fell in love with it. And my sister was a huge part of this process.
She was actually.
She brought the idea of making it slide out.
Yes, because originally we were thinking of having an actual velvet envelope. Then she's like, oh, what if you make it like sort of like a jacket insert? And so we tried that out, did a few prototypes and got the size right. She wanted it to be a bit bigger than a standard invitation. So we played around with it. So hey, so your family actually came through.
I mean, you know, sometimes opinions can go south. You know, everyone having an opinion, but this one really worked. Like my sister came through with some good ideas.
Yeah, that was really cool.
And then my father-in-law actually, who's very like particular about details, he brought up the idea of changing the paper.
The paper, yes.
And honestly, I think it was such a great idea. The paper was like more rich. It gave it a more like expensive feel. And he was very hands-on about like, let's change that paper, and I'm so glad we did, because it worked out so seamlessly. And the gold foiling as well came out really well. Is that gold foiling?
Yes, it is gold foiling. And the belly band actually worked, because I remember in the beginning we wanted to foil directly on the velvet, but then we ended up going with a velvet finish but on a belly band instead, and that just kind of gave it, you know, some elegance. It's different shades of black, so it kind of, you know, made it stand out a bit. And
oh,
it's really nice.
Loved it, Rina. Love that card. And then our order of service. What did you think about this?
First of all, when you sent it to our group, I was like, God answers prayer. Because I really, really wanted to illustrate Namirembe for a long time. I've illustrated a few venues here, but I hadn't got the chance to work with Namirembe. And I just feel like it's such a gorgeous cathedral. Like, just, I would dream of having it illustrated. And so we just kind of worked with a picture and got that sketched out, worked with my illustrators. Even when it's the front of the order of service, and even when it's opened full, it was just stunning. So thank you.
I felt like it was just classic. I know that the cathedral has so much significance to my in-laws, and you know, this is their family church.
I didn't know that.
That's really
so cool.
It's pretty interesting. My husband's great-grandfather is actually buried at this church.
Wow.
So this was
your story.
The stars aligned. And then we also brought some color inside as well. So
you loved the flowers, I think. You said it had a meaning to your name as well.
Yeah,
really? I remember that during
water lily. My traditional name means water lily. So this was perfect that we incorporated that in.
For giving me
thank you, and thank you for the frames. Those are perfect. I don't see enough of those actually, so I'm hoping you get more clients that have such requests as well, because it's really important, I think, to just like,
the stationery was too gorgeous to, like, you know, it had to
just
be
stash in a cupboard.
So
thank you, Rina. Thank you so much.
An amazing marriage for generations to come, and thank you so much.
No problem.